Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are examining a filing that is a bit like a restaurant deciding to become a casino. Drastic changes are coming, and before we dive in, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below for further discussion. Today we are looking into a report from the Herzfeld Caribbean Basin Fund, and it's all about a major strategic shift. Herzfeld Caribbean Basin Fund is changing its investment focus in a big way. Instead of their current investments, they are switching to something called a Kel equity strategy. This was approved at a special meeting, and get this, about 96% of the votes were in favor of the change. This is a huge decision, so let's try to understand what is going on. So what does this change mean? Well, the fund's main goal is going to be getting bigger total returns, meaning they want more money in general, with a second goal of making high income for their investors. To do this, they'll be focusing on what are called CLOs, or collateralized loan obligations. Think of CLOs as collections of loans like a bundle of mortgages, but mainly made up of loans to companies that might be a bit riskier. There were three main things that the stockholders or investors approved. First, they approved a new payment agreement with Thomas J. Herzfeld Advisors Inc., which is the company that advises the fund on investments. Now, the advisor can get paid based on how many total assets the fund manages, and an incentive fee or bonus if investments perform well. Second, the stockholders approved a change to the fund's main investment goal. Before, the goal was long-term capital appreciation to get value over time. Now, the main goal is to maximize risk-adjusted total returns. Also, they want to get high current income. They are also saying that this change to their main investing goal is not something that cannot change again in the future. This means it is easier to change again if they want to. Finally, the stockholders approved some changes to the fund's rules about how the fund invests. These rules cover things like borrowing money, issuing new securities, guaranteeing other people's investments, focusing on specific industries, buying or selling real estate or goods, and lending money. So everything involving where, how, and when to use money. All of these changes will officially begin July 1, 2025. The company also put out a press release on June 18, 2025 to announce all of this, which is attached to this report here. Now let's step back and try to understand what this really means. This is a drastic change in strategy for the fund. They are moving away from their initial approach and diving into a somewhat different area with CLOs. CLOs can be complex and come with their own levels of risk. The fund is likely hoping to get better returns for its investing in these, but it's important to remember that investments also come with risk. By focusing on maximizing risk-adjusted total returns and generating income, they are trying to attract investors with different goals. The approval of paying their advisor, Thomas J. Herzfeld Advisors, with an incentive fee could motivate them to perform well, but it also means they could be tempted to take on bigger risks to hit goals. Lastly, the changes to their fundamental policies give them more flexibility on investments, but it could also mean they might move away from their Caribbean basin focus. Overall, the shift to a CAOAL, the shift to a CAOO, and will be essential to watch how these changes play out. And will this move pay off in the long term? Alright, that's our breakdown of the Herzfeld Caribbean Basin Fund's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.